Good morning, Year 2. It is Friday, the 5th of March. It's our last and final maths home learning session. So today we are on page 25, and this should be the last page that we complete in our home learning. But of course, all the extra pages that we haven't done, you are welcome to carry on and complete at home as well. Okay, so Mrs. Wood's feeling excited because this is the last maths session where I'm going to be talking to an empty classroom. And on Monday, I'm going to have you all in your seats, sound and style, ready to learn. So let's just practice at home first of all. Sound and hats on, whiteboard in front of you, pen in front of you, and your book on page 25, ready to go. So yesterday, we looked at adding. Now, when we're adding, we're getting bigger, we're getting more, we're getting greater. So today, we're doing the opposite of addition. What is the opposite of adding? So adding is getting more. So the opposite of getting more is getting less and getting smaller. So which operation is that? Hopefully you guessed it correctly. It's subtracting. So today, at the top of our page, we should have subtracting. So all the skills that we used yesterday, we're going to transfer over and help us with subtracting today. So we're going to warm up first, Year 2. So using your whiteboard and pen, I've got 2 dice on my board. I'm going to roll my dice, and we're just going to start with taking ones away. We're going to take the smaller number away from the larger number, because we can't take a larger number away from a smaller number. So Miss was going to roll her dice, and your first number sentence on your whiteboard, I've got the numbers 6 and 5. So can you please do on your whiteboard the number sentence 6 subtract 5? So if I'm taking away, what am I left with? 6 subtract 5. 6 take away 5. Okay, hopefully you've got the correct answer. 6 take away 5, we are left with 1. This time we've got the numbers 4 and 2. 4 is my larger number, so my number sentence is going to be 4 take away 2. So on your whiteboard, can you write the number sentence or just the answer for 4 take away 2? And this is going to help us when we're subtracting our ones column today. Okay. The next number sentence. Oh, now, both my numbers are the same this time. So what happens when you take away the same number that you started with? 6. Take 6 away. What am I left with? I've got 6. And I take all 6 away. What's my answer? So I might have 6 cakes. And then I eat all 6 cakes. What am I left with? So 6. Take 6 away. Okay, my numbers are 6 and 3. 6 is my greater number. So on your whiteboard, 6 subtract 3. I've got 6, but I take 3 away. What am I left with? 6 take away 3. Okay. My larger number is 5. So your next number sentence, 5 subtract 4. So 5, take 4 away. So you can use your head. By counting back, you can use your fingers, you can use objects. And the final one, 5 subtract 2. So you could use fingers, get 5, take 2 away. What are we left with? Okay, so that should help us today, that warm up, with today's main learning and our main activity in our book. So just to remind you, we are on page 25 today, looking at subtracting. And I don't really like subtracting. I love adding because I'm getting more. But subtracting means I'm getting less, I'm taking away, and I'm getting smaller. Okay, so today in your activity book, we are subtracting 2-digit numbers, so tricky stuff. So we're taking away a 2-digit number away from another 2-digit number. So let's think about what 2-digit numbers are made of. So have a look at the top of Mrs. Wood's board. And 2-digit numbers are made of 10s and 1s, and that's really important today, just as it was yesterday when we are subtracting larger numbers. So we're taking away 2-digit numbers today. But just to begin with in your activity, your very first question today is taking a 1-digit number away. So clean your whiteboard and we're going to practice that first of all. So if we're subtracting a 1-digit number from a 2-digit number, we just need to subtract the 1s first, and the 10s are going to stay exactly the same. So let's have a look at Mrs. Wood's first number sentence. So 27 subtract 5. And you can see that I've coloured my 1s in blue. So 27 take 5 away. So I could put 27 in my head and count back 5. Or I could look at my 1s and subtract my 1s first. So 7 take away 5. What's 7? 7 fingers. Take 5 away. What am I left with? I'm left with 2. So my answer is going to be something 2. My 10s is going to stay the same because I'm taking nothing away from my 10s column. So 27, take away 5. My 10s number will remain the same, 22. So underneath, I've got 2 more number sentences here that I would like you to solve. 34 subtract 3 and 56 subtract 2. So have a little go at those on your whiteboard, please, making sure we're subtracting our 1s and our 10s will stay the same because we're not subtracting any 10s. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at 34 subtract 3 and 56 subtract 2. Okay, let's see how you got on. So we should have got 4 take away 3 is 1. 30 will remain the same because we're not taking any 10s away. So we should have got 31. Well done, give it a tick if you got it correct. 56 subtract 2. 6 take away 2 is 4. And my 10s remains the same, 50. So 54. How did you get on with that? That's the easy part. So just subtracting a 1-digit number. And then we move on to subtracting a 2-digit number. So Mrs. Wood's got here 45 subtract 20. Now there are 2 ways that we could do this. We could do what we did yesterday, subtract the 1s, subtract the 10s. Or because this number hasn't got any 1s, we can take 20 away and count back from 45. So let's use the method that we practiced yesterday. So Mrs. Wood has got 45 and 20. I'm going to look at my 10s first, so my red numbers. The first number sentence I'm going to do, to break it down, to partition it, I'm going to do 40 subtract 20. Okay, so my first number sentence is going to be, if I partition it, I'm going to take 40 subtract 20. So if I've got 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. I take away 20, 10, 20. I'm left with 20. Or 4 take away 2 is 2. So 40 take away 20 is 20. So I know my answer is going to be 20 something. And then 5 subtract nothing. Got 5 and I take nothing away. I'm still going to have 5. So my answer is 25. Okay, or we could have a go at using column like we did yesterday. So partitioning it, but in the column method. So we do 45 subtract 20, and now it equals at the bottom. So whichever method works best for you. Okay. So what I'd like to go now on your whiteboard at the bottom, Mrs. Wood's got another number sentence for you. So my example was 45 subtract 20. I'd like you to now have a go at 72 subtract 30. So we could count back from 72 and count back 3 10s. Okay, or we can take away our 10s first and then our 1s. So for this one here, we could have gone 45, counting back 35, 25. So count back in 10s or use the partitioning method or the column method. So on your whiteboard, have a little go at 72, take away 30. So our 10s are 70 and 30. So we'd start off with 70 subtract 30. And then 2 take nothing away. So have a look on your whiteboard. And it's our last day today, year 2, our last big push. So give it all you've got. So if you paused and you've completed it, 70 take away 30 is 40. So it's going to be 40 something. 2 take away nothing is 2. So our answer is 42. Did you get 42? Well done if you did. Okay, another hard one this time. Now this time both of my numbers have got ones. So I've got 87. Oh, Mrs. would imagine, what would I love 87 of? 87 Maltesers. Mrs. would love Maltesers. Subtract. Oh, Mrs. McNulty ate 24 of my Maltesers. Take away 24. Can you remember what I need to do? I need to start with my tens first. So I've got 8 tens. Take away 2 tens, or 80 take away 20. So 8 tens, 80, take away 20. So we could do, if we're not sure, 8 take away 2 is 6. So 80 subtract 20 is 60, adding that 0. So I know my answer is going to be 60 something. Now I'm going to do my ones. So 7, I'm going to subtract my ones now. So 7 subtract 4 equals 3. So my answer is 63. So have a go now at my challenge at the bottom on your whiteboard. 56 subtract 23. So pause the video so you can use the partitioning method, or like yesterday, have a go at using the column method. Okay, because the column method is just the same, it's just written a different way and we're partitioning it differently. We're starting with the ones. So don't mind if you solve it the method that Mrs. Wood has modelled to you, or the column method. So our 87 will be at the top, 24 underneath, starting with the ones column. Okay, so how did you get on with 56 subtract 23? So 50 take away 20 is, have you got it written down? Shout it out. 30. 6 take away 3 is 3. So we should have got 33. 5 take away 2 is 3. So 50 take away 20 is 30. 6 subtract 3 is 3. My one's 33. So we did really well with that yesterday, and a big well done to Penny. I loved your little video that you sent in. Well done, superstar. It was great to see you working really hard, counting on your fingers to help you with the column method. Good girl, well done. Okay, so it does get a little bit trickier now. Now, this is where the ones that I subtract are going over the tens barrier. So we're going to have a go at using the number line to help us solve this. So this is where we're going to be looking at question number 3. So it asks you, like yesterday, to use their number line, but I would draw your own because this is where it gets a bit tricky with our jumps and we get all muddled up. So Mrs. Wood's going to show you instead what I would do to help me with those questions rather than using that number line there. So 62 take away 25. So when it comes to your question on the number line, I would like to draw your own number line. Okay. So 62 take away 25. Now when I'm adding, I'm jumping forward. So when I'm subtracting, what am I doing then? I'm jumping backwards. So let's have a look at Mrs. Wood's number line. We're going to start at 62 here. Now I'm taking 25 away. So let's have a look at what 25 is made of. It's made of 20 and 5. So I need to jump back 20 first. So 2 jumps of 10 and then subtract my ones. So I'm going to start at 62. Join in with this year 2 on your whiteboard if you like. So 62. Now I'm taking away 25. So I need to jump back 2 tens to make the 20 first. So 62. I'm taking away 10. 62. What comes before the 60s? There, 50s. 52. And I take another 10 away because I'm subtracting 20. So 2 tens, so subtract 20. 52. What comes before the 50s? The 40s. 42. Now, I've taken away my 2 10s, but now I need to subtract my 5 1s. And counting back is hard. Oh, Mrs. Wood, scratch your head. 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've done my 5 jumps first. I can fill them in afterwards. 42, 41, 40. Now I'm crossing the 10s barrier now. 39, 38, 37. My answer is where I land. We could, like we said yesterday, also use the column method as well and carry. And carrying is tricky stuff. So let's have a little look at how Mrs. Wood would do this if we were carrying. And this I know is what you've done with Mrs. McNulty. So 62, take away 25. So we're borrowing now. So if we're adding, it's carrying. If we're subtracting, we're borrowing a 10. So 62 subtract 25. So use this method, but if you want to have a go at the borrowing, brilliant. Oh, got a problem. Can't take 5 away from 2. Get 2 fingers. Can I take 5 away from 2? I've got to borrow. I've got to knock next door. So I'm going to show into my 10s column and I'm going to borrow a 10 from next door. So 6 10s now becomes 5 10s and 2 now becomes 12. And I can do 12 subtract 5, which would leave me with 7. Okay, now I've got 5 10s, take away 2 10s, 50, take away 20. Which leaves me with 3 10s, 30 and 37. Okay, so I could use the borrowing method. Yesterday we called that the carrying method, or we could use a number line method. Okay, the borrowing is tricky, really tricky. So if it's easier for you to do the number line, have a go at that. Okay, so that should help you with today's work. It is tricky, and when it comes to borrowing and on the number line, don't worry too much if you find that hard. Okay, as long as we're getting questions number 1 and 2 correct, Mrs. Wood and Mrs. McNulty aren't too worried about us borrowing and crossing 10s yet and bridging 10 because we haven't done that in school yet. So please don't worry if you find that tricky. Okay. Now, I had some super word problems in yesterday, so well done to those children that sent me word problems to answer. Today, I'd like to write another word problem, but a subtraction word problem today. So it could be about your favourite thing. I know someone wrote one about pens and pencils and felt tips yesterday and how they were taken away or added on. Don't forget to send your word problems in and your work from today. Okay, so well done on all of your hard work, year 2. You have all made us very, very proud. So that is it. Once you've completed today's activity, close your green maths book because the next maths show we're doing is in school with us in our maths books back to normal. A huge pat on the back and a big well done for your amazing home learning. You have made us super proud. Okay, have a lovely weekend and we will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.